Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Luna and I make Animal Crossing videos every single week. So if you're into that, consider subscribing to join our little AC family. Last week I created Stitch's yard, and for this week's video, I'm going to create Sherb's yard. After this, I only have Megan's house left to move and my campsite, and I should be done. Except for my beaches that I have left to work on, but that's a separate video on its own. So as I was recording, I lost some footage of me placing the bridge and Sherb's house down, but that's okay because we're not gonna let it stop us. What I love is that Sherb is right next to Francine and their houses are blue, so this would be such a nice view. I was staring at the bridge like, why Elgato? Why did you fail me? But anyways, let's get right into decorating Sherb's yard. So for this area, I had a lot of space. Fun fact, this is the area that I placed the tea party at many videos ago. I'm actually going to move it right here next to the bridge, so you can head over the bridge and it will lead you to the tea party area, and then you can go head down to Chrissy and Francine's house. We also have Chrissy over here. Of course, she would run over and sit down where I'm working. Villagers just love doing that. They could be on the other side of the island, but the minute I have my little construction hat on, they appear out of nowhere just to sit and get in my way. You're probably wondering why I'm doing the waterscaping like this, and I don't know. I just wanted to create something cool and not just have the bridge here. For Sherb's yard, I was thinking about doing it all blue and purple, kind of how I did for Francine's yard, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna mostly have it blue, but I'm gonna add some other colors too. And then I'm going to decorate the top of the cliff behind Sherb's house that I made before Elgato decided to destroy my footage. I want to make that cliff like a little hiding spot, but also a spot where you can go and view the Red Queen's castle. So I'm gonna add some vines there, so when I do come out with my dream address, you guys have a vine that you can use to get up there and take pictures. There's going to be a lot of secret entrances, so you're going to have to use a lot of vines or ladders to get down to places or up to places. I wanted this island to feel like a wonderland, but I'm also super excited that I'm almost done. For the new island, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have a few ideas in mind, so I'm gonna have to create a poll on my community tab when the time comes so that you guys can vote on the next island theme. I'm torn between going back to fairy core or doing a Disney themed island. I did mention before in a previous video that I wanted to do Beauty and the Beast, but that will most likely be a cottagecore theme. I know cottagecore is so overdone, but I personally haven't done cottagecore yet on any of my islands. I did do a fairy core island and a fairy spring core island, and this island I'm doing a colorful mushroom forest core. Don't know the name yet, but that's kind of the summary of my island so far, with elements of Alice in Wonderland. So for Beauty and the Beast, I was like cottagecore would make the most sense, and I kind of want to do it, but I also want to do something else. But you guys get to decide on that when the time comes. The other thing I wanted to talk about is answering the question of how I come up with these areas, and to be honest, I don't know. And when I say I don't know, it's because I really don't have a plan when I start creating these areas, but I will tell you the steps I do take that can maybe help you if you are struggling. So the first thing I do is try to find a location, but you don't have to stress out so much about the location. Sometimes you might create a build and not like it and then move it somewhere else. That has happened to me a lot of times, but most of the times I just leave it the way that I created the first time because I'm too lazy to move it. The second thing I do is figure out how much space I want to decorate. I don't have to decorate the whole space, but I can decorate up until a certain point and then figure out the rest later. The third thing I do is if you have a theme, for instance, mine is mushroom core, I try to take out items that are related to that theme, but this step I do on and off throughout the decorating process. The fourth thing I do is lay down the path. The reason why I place down the path first is because it will help me decide where I'm going to place the trees or the flowers, and a lot of the the times I use the path to connect it to the house and the bridge or staircase. Sometimes I remove the path and do something else with it, but I do place it down first to help me figure out everything and what I'm gonna do. And then the last thing I do is just pull out items from my storage and start playing around with the area. Sometimes I'll go on Pinterest, or for me, I go to the Alice in Wonderland movie and start looking at the background to see if Animal Crossing has a similar item that I can use. Then I'll add it and just play around with everything to see how I like it. A lot of the times I have to stop decorating and then come back to it the next day or the day after that to see the builds. When I do that, I end up removing what I did before and fixing it because I have fresher eyes than before. But yeah, that's mostly what I do when I'm decorating. My brain goes 100 miles a minute. I will say that I thrive more on smaller spaces than bigger spaces. I get so overwhelmed when it's a bigger space, but when it's a smaller space, I have so many ideas in my head. Like this space here, I love it so much, and I try to keep the focus more on the right side and keep the space behind Sherb's house more open so that when you do come up here, you get to sit on the cushion and you have a better view of the castle and nothing is blocking you. I'm finishing off the build with this glowing moss boulder and the hyacinth lamp, and then I'm gonna head back to Sherb's house and add his photo on top of a stool, which is a tradition that I've been doing for a really long time. So here is how the entrance looks. I like it. It's super cute and very colorful. I love the view of Sherb's house. He was in his house the whole time, and I wish he did come out to see everything and see his brand new yard, but that's okay. I love the little diagonal blanket. I used a similar one on my Fairy Core Island, but I used a rose one instead. This time I ended up using a green one and I love it so much. The food items in this game is just top tier. The bread has smiley faces on them and it's so adorable, super cute. And a close-up of his house. This definitely feels like he was in a forest and we found him like in Little Red Riding Hood. And this is the view that I was talking about of the Red Queen's castle. I love the effect of it. It seems like it's super far away, but it really isn't. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, let me know by hitting the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, consider subscribing to join our little AC family. I will be decorating Megan's house next, and that will be the last villager home for this island. And then I'll be working on my campsite right after that. And then I'll be working on my beaches, and I should be done with my island. So stay tuned for the next video next week, Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so have your post notifications on so you don't miss out on that video. I love you all so much. Take care, and I'll see you guys next week Saturday. Bye.